I would like to invite Mr. Shrivallabha Kulkarni, who is Head of Manufacturing, IT, Auto Digital Center from Mahindra and Mahindra Limited. Can we invite him, please, on a stage?
Thank you. So good morning, all. First of all, thank you for the organizers and the partners who invited for this session. So quickly, I'll touch upon some of the key changes which at Mahindra are leading for the world in this presentation. So how we are organized, right? At the group level, right? We run on the three brand pillars. And if you look at the middle one, and that is where to rise to be future ready, and technology plays a very important role, right? So keeping that thread, technology as a center, as our leadership drives in their KPIs and goal sheets and all, how we take that to the next level. And this is a slide from the Gartner on Advanced Manufacturing 2024. This was published, I think, in the month of July. And if you look at this hype cycle, right, on the left side, this is where all the maturities have come and people have reached a stage, or the technologies have reached a stage where they have become a kind of a scalable, sustainable solutions. And on the right side, that is a curve where it starts, right? And so while moving on this curve for 5 to 10 years of a time frame, many new technology innovations or the ideas, they start falling apart also, but some will reach the stage. And if you look at on the left side, right, the OT security, or MOM is manufacturing operations kind of a thing. That is where already industry has matured and people are using, but the one area which is a kind of a evolving on the leftmost side is OT security. Still people are struggling to get into that kind of a stage. On the other side, if you look at any of these green boxes, right, so that is where we are spending a lot of effort making them institutionalized and cross-deployable across our automotive and farm sectors. You can take any example. I'll cover some of the quick examples in that one, but how we are leading in terms of technology from the manufacturing perspective, that is what this slide talks about. This is quickly on connecting that hype cycle and looking at Industry 4.0, we can say the darker bluer can be kind of a Industry 4.0, and on the other side is more of a human-centric, taking that Industry 4.0 to next level, because people talk about 5.0, but there is no official term or a kind of a thing, Industry 5.0. So basically the current way of manufacturing getting enhanced using the AI and some other technologies. So we call it as human-centric. And in this one, if I want to touch on, so first one I will leave it because every company uses manufacturing execution systems. Okay, so there is nothing great in that one. OT security. It is a differentiation how you make between IT and OT, right? So IT sits as a layer which connects to the outside world and all other office-related things, and the OT is another layer where all your machines or equipments comes into picture and how they get connected. And from the automotive perspective, right, value chain, it starts from press shop to then it goes to body shop to the paint shop, and then it goes to the final assembly line and it goes out. And during this whole thing, you come across at least 300 to 350 stations or workstations, not the digital stations, but workstations where some kind of a operation or multiple operations happens. And assume that each station is a one digital touch point for one vehicle data, right? So in that case, the kind of a volume of data it generates, most of the time, it won't sit in MES, okay? It sits in the OEM machines, because those are the proprietary machines, like ABB supplies some robots, Fanuc might be doing something, paint shop somebody else might be doing, Rockwell might be doing something, Siemens might be doing something, right? But those are proprietary machines and that data sits in that one. So how do you take that into a next level? On one side is a different thing, connected factory and digital threads, but on the other side, how do you protect those machines from the external vulnerability? And that is where the OT network and OT security comes into picture. Okay. And if you look at, are we ready, manufacturing industry, is it ready for the cloud-based kind of a technology movement? Because MES is a line where your takt time is like, in seconds, and you cannot make the operator can do his activity in 20 seconds, but you cannot wait for the digital to get the data from cloud and validate that and bring it back, which may take 1 minute kind of a timeline, right? So that is not acceptable. But still, what are the ways to get into that one and use the cloud-based technologies? So that is how there are a lot of use cases and many things happening on the human-centric platforms. And why this is important for us is, if you take the last recent two launches, 3X work, 50 vehicles we booked in 50,000 vehicles in 60 minutes, and then we launched Thar Rocks, which is a 5-door Thar, and about 1.76 lakhs got booked in 60 minutes, both in 1 hour basically. And so what that means is, we have a the production order for next 2 years, 3 years kind of a thing. And in that case, manufacturing systems become so critical because we cannot make our shops go down because of the technology or the IT related things. So couple of examples. This is one example connecting to the Gartner hype cycle where we use edge computing, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, and computer vision. This is a special rig sits inside the paint shop, and this rig comes with about 18 cameras inside. Okay, and within those yellow lights, this rig, there are cameras, and they continuously keep operating. And your painted body comes in and passes through that one, and that movement happens within a minute, and that captures so much of a record. And compared to the standard or best in class paint defect tracking, this is a advanced one, which actually is required because we recently launched our born electric vehicles kind of a thing. And to get that, one is like capturing and making a sense out of that data, but sending that data back to the PLCs on the paint shop, right, is very important, because that is how, rather than you detecting something after 40 vehicles got painted, if you can do that within 3 vehicles got painted or 5 vehicles got painted, that gives a kind of a advantage for us. This is one example, quick example on that one. The kind of a technologies are marked here. This is the metaverse, you can call digital factory, you can call 3D factory and all those things. And why this thread comes here is R&D. In Mahindra, we cut down the product development cycle drastically. The traditional way, and Americans and Europeans, which used to talk, is like 48 months of a product development cycle. And within 2.5 years, we launched 4, 5, 6 vehicles. Okay. And how could we do that one? That is where the concurrent engineering or simultaneous engineering comes into picture. Product development does the product development. At some moment, the component developments comes into picture. On the parallelly, the central manufacturing will come into picture. They start also looking at where to position this product in which plant, and how can we simulate, because we are not putting any new plants, right? We use the brownfield plants, and how to accommodate this kind of a product into the line. And that is again, to make quicker decisions, because digitally it will tell you, but it won't actually give you the line to produce the vehicles. And that is where it decides like when to take plant shutdown and how much time they can complete the kind of a physical works to accommodate these kind of a changes. So that the top one, 3D factory, comes into picture. And what is this 3D factory? If you ask any of the automotive OEM, getting the complete shop's 3D data is really difficult. Okay, that is a practical experience. Some might be managing. So in this case, how to build that one, right? So for us, what we do is, in the night shifts or when the plant is down, we do the point cloud data scanning of the shops. Okay, and when we do the point cloud data scanning, it starts generating the images of the shop. It is not 3D, but images of the shop. And as a next step, the digital team stitches these images to make it as a one layout or a one large fabric. So that becomes a shop. And then we have to convert that into a 3D model. That is where the 3D comes into picture. They get converted into 3D model on one side. On the other side, the objects like conveyors and whatever the fixtures, the tools, they start getting life to that one. Means the attributes start adding their realistic values into that one. And these are all 1:1 kind of a thing. And then you, on top of that, you put a kinematics into that one so that your conveyor can move, and the moment you put the 3D model into that line, it starts giving in first operation this happened, second operation this happened, third operation this happened. So that kind of a visualization, and that visualization gives you the kind of a activities which workers have to do, or the operators or the robots have to do, and how to give those insights upfront, right? So that is where this digital comes into picture on one side. On the other side, lot of digital discrete event simulations happens, and that gives you in terms of running the line or optimizing some of the opportunities. So if you are running a line at 30 JPH, and by doing discrete event simulations with the different what if scenarios, you may reach 33 JPH. But that 3 JPH is so critical for us, because every hour 3 new models will come out. So how to take advantage of digital there? So this is all happens from the latest technologies which are coming out. This is on the segregation of OT and IT. And we are kind of advanced in adopting this kind of a solution across all our plants. So the key differentiation here is, till now, the manufacturing people and the operations, whoever performing like central manufacturing engineering, they buy the assets, they set up the lines, and they run the business, right? But actually how many OT assets are there itself were not known across all plants. Okay, one shop or one plant might be knowing, but through these digital technologies, right, we could connect more than 1 lakh OT assets. So that is our central library now, and that is our IP. And what are those OT assets? That they may be your robots, they may be your HMIs, they may be your data related to whatever the digital things comes in. So there is a library, and these categories will be about 15 to 18 kind of a categories. And on one side, they get connected, and we monitor 24/7 centrally from one location to look at and observe the vulnerabilities. On the other side, right, if there is a robot which is supplied by a German partner, and there is a maintenance activity, or they have to do a patch on their machine, right? So they don't have to come all the way on one side. On the other side, they cannot simply sit remotely and do the patch upgrade, because we don't know what is going in that machine at that moment. So how can we control that one? So that whole session gets recorded. If we give a secure login to them, they connect to that machine, they perform their 4 or 5 hours of activity, and that whole thing gets recorded. And tomorrow if the plant wants to run, or maintenance team want to see that one, they will have the full video of what got changed from program to program or line by line code level. So this is another transformative thing which is happening in the industry and also with us. And how can you, one example on digital threads, basically here, if I take the example of our Chakan or a Pune location plant, we produce all our key automotive passenger vehicles from that location, on top of that commercial and also construction equipment. And as our inbound logistics, right, we manage about 2,500 trucks per day. They bring the material, okay, this is not the outbound logistics, but the inbound we manage about 2,500 trucks. And how we convert or reduce the waiting time for those trucks and assign the right track to them, so that they go to that shop and that bay and use the right leveler to unload the things. So this is a whole automation done. In fact, one of our partner who helped in this one is also part of this event outside. And why this kind of a solution is important is, we are expecting to handle about 4,000 to 4,500 inbound trucks in this location. And these solutions are such that these are scalable and tomorrow cross deployable at different locations like Nasik or somewhere else. I think in the past talk you might have seen the Gen AIs and ChatGPT and all. In fact, we are one of the early adopters of ChatGPT for the maintenance team. And this is cross-deployed. And what it does is basically the historical knowledge of the YY sheets, we call it, because maintenance users, whenever there is some incident happened, they write it in a kind of a sheet and they manage that knowledge. So we fed all that historical 10 years of data into the tool on one side. On the other side, each OT machine, it comes with a proprietary user manuals kind of a thing, and that database also has been fed into the system. And whenever, if there is a kind of a error displayed on those machines, right, the operator simply, they won't call the supervisor, but they just log in and they just text that error code and they get the kind of a data, so that they can look at reducing the mean time to repair kind of a thing. And this is one of the success which almost 2 years back Microsoft talked in their global event. Okay. So the intention of showing here is like these are easily adoptable solutions, only we have to look at the way how to adopt these kind of technologies. Yeah, so what is that we are talking? In last week's World Economic Forum, our MD talked, Anisha talked about the future in manufacturing, and he touched on the left side of the things, right side of the things. We are looking at agility.ai, means how quickly we can take some kind of a decisions. On the other side, he talked about how can we improve the quality, how can we keep the uptime, then the energy management kind of a thing, and connected AI. So, so this is where we are working, and most of these examples which I shown are connecting to this 5 AI kind of our objective. So we are spending a lot of time, management is also spending a lot of time, and there is a rigor to adopt these kind of things. It is KPI driven from top to mid-level, that digital has to be there irrespective of whether they are part of IT or digital. For everybody it has to be there. So that is what I have. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Any questions?
Thank you for your time, sir. I guess we don't have. We have one quick.
Hi, I'm Manoj. Just wanted to check, you said you are keeping a physical separation between IT and OT network. So any spatial, because yes, we know there are a lot of challenges between integration of IT and OT network. So, so due to this, are you, there is a challenge for you to take the benefit of AI and all these things, because mostly all these things may be running on or analysis of all this data will be running on IT network, and anything which is coming out from this IT network, you are not able to take benefit of that in your OT network.
So one is two things actually. IT, what is IT and what is OT, and there will be always a handshake between IT and OT, because your PLCs will be on OT side and then your MES can sit on the IT side. So that is where the how do you protect, and this is what is the initiative, like north-south kind of a segregation we effectively did through the enterprise application, which is called Clarity, and that is implemented across all the plants. Okay, and what is So so we have an enterprise solution. So using that, it's a huge investment. It is not that it won't come at a much cheaper rate. But since it has the blessings of the top management, we could buy that and implement that. And in a staggered manner, we extend. We started from 3 locations, critical locations of plants, and then we moved. And so now I have about 15 plants to manage and 110 shops to manage. From this kind of a technology, we covered more than 70 shops now, right now. So year on year, we get capex for that, and we segregate that one. Then the other aspect is also we are working on the air gap, like that is your east-west kind of a thing. So between 2 things, how do you protect that one? The other aspect is our data won't go to the when it goes to cloud, or if you want to run ChatGPT, for example, right? It is a separated environment, and we call it as a Mahindra.ai. Okay, and that data cannot go to the cloud or the public. So that is how we protect our IPs in that one. And always there is a trade-off, and also we have to look at what goes to cloud and what won't go to cloud, and most of the things happens at the edge level. Okay, so it is a journey actually, because every time new vulnerabilities starts coming in, and in fact for a sites like Mahindra, we get so much of a threats. Okay, the pings from outside, and we eliminate that one. And because of these kind of a technologies, at least now people will come to know that there is somebody is pinging. And there are examples, in Europe and Korea, it happened. The plants were shut down for a week, 10 days time, and that's why these are proactive things which we have to take in. I hope it answered, or we can talk later.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.